Number 1. When you both are no longer sexually attracted to each other. As much as sex is not only the thing that keeps a marriage going or makes the marriage work, I think is one of the most important things you need to consider in marriage. Sex brings you both together. It brings the intimacy you need to keep a relationship burning. And without it, it's like every other relationship you have with people around you. Being sexually attracted to someone is having the ability to want to be close to them, touch them, hug them, and do anything with their body. At least you both already have the license to do that, since you are married. Sexual attraction is having the desire to allow someone of the opposite sex lie close to you. When you see them, you have butterflies in your tummy, your heart rate increases, and whenever they are far from you, you always wish they could be close enough. And I know the kind of smiles that will be on your face when they close the distance and come close to you. Now, when two people who are married no longer feel this towards each other, how do you expect them to make love to each other and enjoy the process? To have a happy and healthy intimacy in a marriage is not all about having sex, rather having sex in the most suitable way that will give you both the satisfaction you need. The process of making love normally starts with being sexually attracted to each other. If you don't have that, how do you imagine lying close to the person when you are in a marriage and you both are already at the level that you feel nothing? Means you both will be irritating each other. Whenever you look at the person, you no longer see what you used to see in their body that made you attracted to them in the first place. And even when you both attempt it without figuring what made you lose interest in the first place, you end up more irritated. In some cases, it's one of the partners who are no longer sexually attracted to their partner, which makes them avoid them in every possible way until they get frustrated by being alone. You don't always have to have sex or be close to your partner all the time before you know that a marriage will work, but not having the desire to be close to them, make love to them, or allow them to touch you because you get irritated by it proves that this marriage will not work. It's only a matter of time before you find someone who you are sexually attracted to and you begin to cheat, and that is a breach of trust. A healthy couple will have sex, but if not, it means it's not going to work. Number 2. When you complain about everything that your partner does. There is a limit to what a person can take in a marriage. At some point, they will end up frustrated and get tired of trying to please you. Do things that will be okay with you. A marriage that will work is one where the partners involved have completely accepted each other, not because they are perfect, but because they have come to terms with their imperfections and have decided to accept them if they change or not. It is normally said that when you find more than 3 things to complain about a person, then it means that you both are not compatible. I very well know that most times we see these early signs that you and a person are not compatible in your process of dating. But maybe you thought that you will be able to change that person, or the person is going to change at some point. Beloved, you know the reason why you most times believe that this will happen is either because we are eager to get married or we are head over heels in love with this person because we are focusing only on the bright side of what we want. When you are not comfortable with a person, when you are dating, you don't expect that person to automatically change because you both are now married. Some people hardly change even after marriage, so make sure that you are okay with everything your partner is or now before saying the words, I do. When a particular partner is always criticizing and complaining about everything his or her partner does, then it is a sign that this marriage will not work. At some point, they will give up and let you think whatever you want to think. They will give up trying to be the version you want to do, and that ends up leaving you both always at each other's throat until one of you gives up. Number 3. You don't trust each other. Trust is the foundation of every marriage. Without trust, a relationship will not even last. Then how do you think that a marriage that is greater than a relationship will stand? Most times, we claim that we trust someone even enough to the point of getting married to them. But I think the reason why we think we trust them is that a situation has not presented itself that tested the trust you have for them. Just maybe they have not shown you that side of them that makes you doubt the trust you have in them, and still had to convince yourself that you trust them because deep down you know the things they are capable of doing and what they are not. So even if you see him or her in a compromising situation, you can still vouch for them that they will never do something like that to you. When you trust your partner enough, you will not need to be going over the phone just to check if they are doing anything behind your back. You will not doubt them when they tell you where they are going to, and you will also not ask questions that proves that you do not trust them. To have trust in your partner is believing them always. It's telling them everything about you and believing that they will not condemn you or leave you because of what you have said. Trust is not possessively jealous, even when you see them with another person, and this is the trust that a marriage needs. Most times when a partner breaks the trust their spouse has, it's almost impossible to regain it back. This trust has mostly been broken in the areas of infidelity, and that's why you see some spouse doing all sorts of terrible things, all in the name of protecting their partner from cheating. When you and your partner no longer trust each other again, it's a sign that the marriage will not work. Most couples stay in a marriage without trust for the sake of their kids. But the thing is, you end up living like strangers. It is only God that can heal a marriage that does not have trust, because it is only a matter of time before you both end up looking for trust with someone else outside your marriage. Number 4. When you both share different values and beliefs. There are so many important things that singles forget whenever they are making the decision to get married, and they forget that marriage goes beyond the wedding day. It's a whole lifetime. The desire to get married makes us agree to get married to someone that you saw the warning signal, that you both share different beliefs and values, but you ignore the signs and still push to get married because you are tired of being single. You are more concerned of the here and now, that you failed to have the thought of how it would look like in the long run. When two people who share different beliefs and values marry, they will always be arguing on what to do when it comes to making decisions. Everyone will like to decide on what they feel it's right, and when you both don't agree on what is right, you will never be able to make that decision. The home lacks a single focus on what they want and how they want it, because you both are not comfortable with each other's perspective. And eventually, you have kids' bigger problems trying to raise them on a specific standard. When you both share different beliefs and values, you will constantly disagree with either of your proposals, so you will end up being at each other's throats. When you both are different, then it may be a sign that the marriage will not work. It is only a matter of time before you are frustrated of all the arguments and everything in between. To make it work means one of you needs to agree with the other, or else you will push each other to the wall. All these signs are things that we mostly see as the warning signs, but because of the desire to get married, we push them aside. If your marriage is at the point and you still want to save it, then run to God. He has the final say. I pray that God gives you the spirit to work out your marriage, and that things eventually work out for you the way you expected it. As always, remain blessed.